Shalom, everybody. What's up, people? People of Messiah, Israel. Everybody, whoever's coming in, come in. You know, watch this video. I got something for you. It's been an interesting week, the interesting week brought me to Luke 6:22. Because this week I got called, I got called a false prophet, a devil, and just about everything but a child of Yah this week, which is fine. I'm cool with that. You know, I don't like people spewing venom and hate, but there's something in Luke 6:22 that the Messiah says, you know, that it breaks it all down. It probably breaks this down for a lot of people who are in the truth, who believe not only in the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, but you also keep the Father's commandments, because you know that's what the Messiah taught. This is what you go through. We probably all just went through this whole deal at the pinnacle of the dead season, I call it, which was December 25th and January 1st, where it's amazing, the spirit that hangs around, that old spirit, that old Christmas spirit. You know, it's rough on the believers. It's tough on the ones who know what that stuff's about, and I'm not going to keep getting in on that. Hey, we passed it now. You know, let's just keep moving on through the dead season, try to get to the first, you know, our biblical new year, which is going to be more like April, May, somewhere around in there. It's always in the springtime. That's how Yah's calendar works. He don't start things out in death. He starts them out in life. You know, as far as the Gregorian New Year, here we are. Slap in the middle of January. It's wintertime, as you can see. You know, I got my stocking cap on. It's a Sabbath day. I got a couple of things going on. But, you know, to get back to the point of, this is what you deal with, man. This is what you deal with people when you're in the truth. And this is how you know you're in the truth, because this is what the Messiah said in Luke 6:22. Blessed are you when men shall hate you, and when they shall cut you off, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as wicked for the sake of the Son of Adam, which we know is the Messiah. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy. For look, your reward is great in heaven, for that is how their fathers treated the prophets. You know, that's going on to something else, but man, this is relevant for today. I'm certainly not any kind of a prophet. I got accused of being a false prophet. I'm not a prophet. I have never spewed out anything out of my mouth that was coming from me, saying, "Thus saith Yah," like the prophets did. The only time you'll ever hear me say, "Thus saith Yah," is when I'm reading the prophets. I'm not prophesying. So that just shows you the ignorance of the people to call me a false prophet, because I'm not a prophet. I'm just a believer, man. I'm just a sower of seed. I'm growing as well. I'm growing in this thing just like everybody else, you know, but my root is established in Yeshua HaMashiach. So, you know, I'm good. I know the growth that I'm going to get and the fruit that I'm going to bear is going to be of the Torah, of the commandments, of the things that's of the kingdom, not of this world. So you're going to be hated for that kind of stuff out here right now. And it's getting worse. You know, when I said the reason I hadn't done a whole lot of videos here lately is because of prepping, that's it. That's right, man. We got to start getting ready, Israel. You know, we need to kind of band together. We need to start getting things ready. Things are speeding up. Again, this is just things that I'm seeing. We need to be stocking up. We need to be getting ready. And hope I'm not putting myself out there too much, but you know, I just think people know. Hey, other people, if you teetering on the truth, if you're worried about what other people's going to think for you coming to the truth, you better drop that baggage right now and start getting yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically ready for what's about to go down, because things are happening. As a matter of fact, I've been in Luke. I think Luke is great. You know, I'm not the only one dealing with these things. Where people will hate on you so bad, man. I've never seen such things talked about a person that was talked about me. And I'm not going to mention the names and everything, because it doesn't it doesn't really matter to me. I don't have any fear in my heart on that. But when, you know, when somebody's trying to lure you into something that don't feel right, it's crazy. But it's all right. I got good brothers and sisters that had my back. They were tearing it up. I was proud to see that. That was really cool. Or it's really nice to see, man. You know who your true people are, man. In this life, especially where we are right now. You better be around real people. You better be equally yoked. Don't be unequally yoked with non-believers, man. It's not going to do you well. You know, especially when things start going down. You can get caught up in it just by being around the wrong people, if you know what I mean. You know, so if you are in the truth and you are a commandment keeper and you understand, you know, what Messiah was teaching, and you actually study it and you read it, you know what I'm talking about. Because this channel is no longer for the people who. This channel is for the believers. You know, this is for the believers. This is for edifying and building up believers. Only believers is going to be on here. I hope really only believers is going to be watching. I'm done with the debate. It is what it is. If you haven't seen it by now, I don't know if you're going to see it. So I don't see the point of me, you know, keeping on beating on it. I don't need to. I'm just gonna give encouragement, and this channel is gonna be about encouragement. It's point to shoot for truth, and that's all we're gonna spout out is the truth. As far as the people wanting to, you know, if you want to debate or whatever, hey, I'll do that. If you want to do a friendly debate, something fun to do, but you know, it's getting to a time where I don't have a lot of time other than dealing with the truth. So, you know, and dealing with people in the truth. But here's something else out of the book of Luke, man. It's just, these things are coming out. You start hitting verses, man. When you in the Word, when you eating that bread, you know, that spiritual bread, you know, man can't live on bread alone, but from every word of the Father's mouth, man, that's your bread. That's what's going to keep you alive. Especially in the end times, and especially right now when things is going on, what's going to keep you alive is eating that spiritual bread, that true word from the Father, man, the Torah, the Messiah. You know, if you ain't in it, you ain't in it. You know, it's done got to that point to where don't even worry about it. But listen to this, man. We got Luke 13:24. Strive to enter through the narrow gate, because many, I say to you, shall seek to enter in and shall not be able. When once the master of the house has risen up and shut the door, and you begin to stand outside and knock at the door, saying, Master, Master, open for us. And he shall answer and say to you, I do not know you. Where are you from? Then you shall begin to say, we ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in our streets. But he shall say, I say to you, I do not know you. Where are you from? Depart from me, all you workers of unrighteousness. Unrighteousness. What is unrighteousness? Well, let's see what righteousness is first, and then we can determine what unrighteousness is. And it's in Luke. It's in Luke as well. Let's go to Luke 1:6. This is the definition of righteousness. It's in the Bible. And they were both righteous before Elohim, blamelessly walking in all the commands and righteousness of Yah. Blamelessly walking in all the commands of Yah. That's what makes you righteous. But don't get it confused about the blameless part. Blameless, if you're blamelessly walking in, that means you've repented. When you stumble into law, you've repented, so therefore you're blameless. So y'all people keep forgetting, man, that we've got an advocate with the Father. The renewed covenant is not a different set of commandments. It's a different priesthood. The Messiah is our high priest now. He's our advocate with the Father. He's the go-to. He's the in-between. He's the mediator of the covenant. Remember Moses? He was a mediator of the covenant. How did he get? He went to the Father for Israel. So he was in that mediation seat. Now we got a better covenant because our covenant is with our mediator being the Messiah. The high priest is now the Messiah. He shed his blood once and for all to take care of it all. You know, that's one part of this thing that's right. Yes, he did do that. He paid our death penalty. That's grace. That's what grace is. People's got to start living off of this hyper grace system that ain't nothing but a license to sin. You got to get off of that. He didn't die on the cross so that you can do all these pagan things. He didn't die on the stake so that you could continue to be a Gentile. He didn't die on the stake, on the tree, so that you can continue in sin, which is 1 John 3:4. What's 1 John 3? It's the only definition of sin in the Bible. Sin is transgression of the Torah. The Torah is there to show us how to properly worship the Father through the Son. That's why we have to have a high priest in the Torah. We have to have a mediator. We have to have it. Now our mediator is the Son of Elohim. He's already conquered death for us, man. And for people to be able to sit back and say that they follow the El of Israel, and they break his commandments, and they teach others to break commandments, it breaks my heart. It really does. It breaks my heart. It's terrible. Why would you? Why? That could only come from the devil. You know, I hear these people say, "I'm so glad that Jesus died on the cross to release me from the bondage of God's law." Man, that's not the bondage that you was released from. You was released from the bondage of sin, which was breaking his law. You know, when you say that, it's almost, I don't know what you call it, man, because I don't know if I even want to say that word. But when you say that you are so happy that the Messiah died to release you from the law, you're worshiping anti-Messiah. You're worshiping the anti-Messiah, man, because the anti-Messiah is the lawless one, the Torah-less one. Yah's law is not bondage. Yah tells you his law is the law of liberty. It's liberty, man. When you're walking in the commandments, you're in liberty. You're free. Yet you're twisting, there's people out there twisting this thing around saying if you're walking in the commandments, you're denying the Messiah. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Does that make any sense? That shouldn't make any sense to anybody. That's ridiculous. But people will hate you for this, man. They will absolutely hate you for this. But I'm rejoicing in the fact that they hate me, man, because look, man, when the people that ain't in the truth are the ones that's hating you, you in good shape. Rejoice in that. You in good shape. You know what I'm saying? This world ain't going to love you. When you come to the truth, the world is not going to love you. The world wants to do what the world wants to do. You know, these people has done been jabbed up, and man, at some point their mind's going, it ain't going to work right, man. You know, spiritually, you got to think about what's going on right now. People, hey man, y'all need to be reading Genesis. You need to be reading Daniel. You need to be reading Revelation. You better be reading them words that the Messiah is saying, them words in red that I keep hearing all these people talk about. Well, I just read the words in red. Great. How can you understand the words in red if you ain't read the words in black? You know what I mean? Read the whole book, man. There's a story in this book. It's about one people. It's a Hebrew book. It's about the Israelites. That's what it's about. It's about Israel. There's too many replacement theologies out there. Too many replacement theologies. There's only one theology in this book. The very end of Ecclesiastes. Look at this, man. Ecclesiastes. Bam, this stuff just comes right to you. Ecclesiastes 12, chapter 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Elohim and guard his commandments, for this applies to all mankind. For Elohim shall bring every work into right ruling, including that is hidden, whether good or whether evil. Let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Elohim and guard his commandments. That's the conclusion of the whole matter. It's for all mankind. Did you hear that? It's in there. But for this is the duty of all mankind. It's to guard his commandments, keep his commandments. You know what guard, when you guard something, like you guard your house, you guard these commandments in your heart. Jeremiah 31, 34 that's the new covenant coming alive. I'm gonna make a renewed covenant with the house of Judah and the house of Israel. That's who the new covenant's with, and he's gonna write his laws in their hearts and in their minds, man. It should be written in your heart and your mind. That's why we don't need a tutor anymore. It doesn't mean that anything's going away. The only reason you need a tutor is because you know it. It's in here. It's in here. You walk them out in spirit and truth. But first you got to read the book, man. You got to read the book. You got to study this thing, man. There's too many doctrines of men out there. There's too many righteous brothers getting accused of unrighteous things because people won't read the book. People won't just come to the conclusion and finally come to the truth of the matter. That what they were taught growing up is wrong. It's a lie. It's a lie. How could you be in something that tells you that the commandments of the Most High Yah are evil? How could you be in something like that? I don't understand it, how you could be in something that says that the commandments are evil. What's the book say, man? They call evil good and good evil. That's the devil, man. That is the devil. And I say this all the time, man. I feel like it's in every video, but you always have to go to the beginning of the first transgression. What did the devil tell Eve? That Yah didn't really mean what he said. That you don't really have to keep his commandments. Wake up, man. Wake up, people in religion. You know what? There ain't even no need for me to say that because you're either going to wake up or you're not going to wake up. But I pray. I do. I pray for most everybody. I don't want to see nobody perish, man. You know, I got a heart for people. A lot of people don't think so. I think a lot of people think I'm cold. But man, I ain't cold. It's just I'm not going to allow anything to drag my family down. Once I've come into this truth, once my eyes is open, I have to protect it. I have to guard it in my heart, man. I have to guard his commandments in my heart. And you can't be around people, you know, that don't get it, that don't know it, man. Don't defile yourself with people. The people of this world. You can't defile yourself with them, man. I'm not calling any man unclean. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I'm not calling any man unclean. That's not my place. I'm just saying, if you ain't going in the same direction, what can you do? You know, there's the broad way and there's the narrow way. Has anybody ever wondered why in most places, especially beach towns and things like that a lot of times they'll have Broad Street and that's where all the bars are? It's the broad way, man. The broad way is the way of sin. It's the way of the world. It's just doing what everybody else is doing. You know, didn't your mama ever tell you, just because if your buddies was going to jump off a bridge, you going to jump off the bridge too? No. It's the same thing. If your buddies is going to jump in the lake of fire with gasoline drawers on, you going to go in there right behind them? I mean, come on, man. This is too crucial for this stuff. I mean, I don't even care anymore about people coming back at me and this, that, and other. I probably won't even respond to it anymore, man, because I don't have time. I can't cast my pearls before swine and give holiness to dogs. I can't do it. You know, I can bear with anybody, but I don't have to believe you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm here to love everybody. And if anybody needs anything, that's great. But you know, this thing is winding up. I believe. But it's already been a good Sabbath, man. We've been doing the things, man. I actually got, you know, like I said, we're doing some prepping even today. Don't crucify me on this one because it is the Sabbath day and we're not cooking on the Sabbath and we don't have a fire on the Sabbath. or we didn't kindle it. You know, that's kind of another thing. You know, you got a preparation day for a reason. We got everything ready. So all I got to do is turn some propane on, and the fire was already going, you know, so I haven't had to fool with that. But, you know, we're making a big old pot, and I may do a video on this later. We're making a big old pot of, you know, like a vegetable soup with deer meat. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one isn't deer meat. I think this one's beef, because we were gonna make it for our Shabbat feast. So we was going to use hamburger meat for that one. So we're still going to do that. But what we're going to do is, if you ever notice, you can make a big tub of like a vegetable soup or something. Now this isn't long-term storage or anything like that, but it's something to get you by for a little while and not waste food, which is going to be crucial. As you can see, we got a fridge out here in the garage. Got a fridge in the house. I'm about to buy a freezer. Because you just got, I'm hoping, y'all willing, if we're still here and everything's going good, or if everything's going on, I'm hoping next year I can tag out in South Carolina. That's 5 deer, and get them stocked up in the freezer. But the soup, we're making a big old bat, so it'll be enough for us to feast on today. And like I said, it's a Saturday, so all we're doing is heating it up. Everything was already ready. We did that yesterday. But we're just going to heat it up. And plus, it's a fun time for me and the kids. I'm glad the fire stayed lit all night. So there was no kindling. I was just able to throw a little extra wood on there. She poofed back up. And so I think it's 40-something degrees here. But when we get done with that, what we don't eat, we're going to go ahead and put it in the freezer bags and freeze it. Well, yeah, you know that. You can keep something for a long time in the freezer, and when if it ever got kind of rough, we got that propane boiler. There's the vegetable beef soup in there. Heat it up. That'd be a good meal. But I think I'm done with this one, man. I didn't want to go too long on the Sabbath. Man, I hope y'all can pull the pearls and the nuggets out of it. What I'm trying to say, I never try to come off harsh. I just try to come off truthful, man. We love y'all out there. We all do. But you know, I'm here to. I'm wanting to kind of start trying to show some other sides on this channel. I'm going to delete some of my videos that I've had before. I've already deleted one. Sister pointed something out in there for me, and you know, I can take correction. So I immediately deleted the video, got it off of there, got it out of there, and then two. There's a couple more I'm probably going to throw off there, like the Are You Jewish video, because I want to redo that, because I think that was a pretty good video. It was good, but you know, I want to make sure I'm coming off the right way, and I think I'm going to get into, people need to know about the natural seed. It's something that I hadn't put out there. You know, the natural seed to a lot of us is not what people thinks it is, and there's a truth in there that people's got to know. You got to know, man. You got to know. There's only one people that fits the curses of Deuteronomy, Davarim, whatever you want to do. You know, when you really do the research, there's only one people. There's only one people on this planet that fits all that. And one day that'll get out here, man. You know, I don't know everything. I can promise you that. I don't know everything. I don't even know that much. All I know is I got a love for the Father. I got a love for the Son. And he says if you love him, you'll keep his commandments. And he says his people perish for a lack of understanding. You know, I want to thank the Father publicly, because a brother told me, man, and he's right, we don't thank the Father enough. We don't thank the Father enough for opening up our eyes. Opening up our eyes of what being in subjection to the Messiah, our King, really means. That's grace. You know, I already said it on one occasion on this video. That's grace. I'm gonna teach you. People's gonna know what grace is before I am no more. I'm telling you, grace ain't what you think it is. Grace is a Father sending his Son to die for you, to pay your death penalty. And you know what you do? If somebody did that for you, you know what you do? whatever he says. That's how you give thanks to somebody who did that for you, who came and went through what the Messiah went through for us. What do you think? And even the Father too, man, that was his son. It'd be like me sending my son. Look at Abraham and Isaac, man. Come on. Think about, people don't, I really don't think people really put it in perspective. What this really means, man, and what the gospel really means, and what the gospel really is. But I'm going to do my best on this channel point to shoot for to show people that. But I got to get rid of some dead weight off the channel as far as some of the videos, you know, whatever. That's all right. Some of it, you know, you just put things out there. You know, you get your feet wet in this thing. And as you stay in this, you learn more and more. I got good brothers and sisters around me. So, and like I said, man, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm nothing like that. I'm really not even a teacher, man. I'm a student of the Word. I love my Messiah. I love my Father. I do believe that I have some understanding on how this thing works, and I got to put it out there. I got to do the work. I got to be obedient. You know, I got to be obedient. That's all I know, so I do it. I always say I'm a sower of seed. That's me. I'm just an old farmer, man. I'm a farmer without a farm. Nah, I wouldn't say that, but I'm more like a homesteader. But, you know, I understand seed, I understand growth, I understand plants, I understand wheat, I understand tares, I understand. You start, you know, gardening is biblical. Israel is agricultural. Hebrews were agricultural people, man. Gardening is essential. You know, you can learn so much spiritually from gardening, reading your Bible, doing things, man. You learn a lot about weeds, the tares. You learn a lot about fruit. You know, a good plant that produces fruit, when it gets full of fruit, guess what it does? It bows down. Think about it, man. When it's full of fruit, it bows down. And you pick that fruit off, and that fruit gets used, and it stands back up, and then it gets full of fruit again, and it bows down. It bows down. I bow down. I bow down to my King, my Messiah. I do that. What's up, son? It's okay. I do that. When you produce fruit, you do that. What does a weed do? Stands up tall, sucking up the sun, you know, depriving the fruit bearers of their nutrients to bear more fruit. That's what they do. That's what a tare does. That's right. That's all a weed does, is robs the fruit bearers of their fruit. So that's why it has to separate the wheat from the tares. So which one are you? Are you bearing good fruit? Do you know what good fruit is? Good fruit is obedience. That's what good fruit is. There's no point in being a believer and then being rebellious. Just think about where you are. You know, this is a good time to think about where you are. Are you saying you're a believer and being rebellious to His Word? What good is that belief? What good is your faith without works? What is works? It's obedience. What good is your faith without obedience? It's in James 2. Go read it. It's right there in the Bible. And by the way, his name's not James, it's Yaakov. But hey, we ain't going to split hairs. It's a great book. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I got to go check some things. We're going to get ready. We're going to do some soup making. Something nice and simple. Take a little break, sit down. You know, like I said, man, I hope somebody gets it. I hope this is edifying. I hope it builds people up, because I love you. I don't care who it is watching this. I love you, but I'm not dealing with unbelievers anymore. You either believe or you don't. If you want to check this out, and that's why this thing ain't got tons of subscribers. That's how you know somebody's real. I ain't trying to get all that. I don't even care. Don't want the limelight. Don't worry about that. All I'm doing is being obedient. The word needs to get out. The time is getting short. The kingdom's drawing nigh. You better make a decision which kingdom you going to be a part of. That's all I can tell you on that one. That's all I can tell you. But like I said, man, Shabbat Shalom. And I hope everybody has a good restful day today. I hope you're getting ready. I really do. I hope you're getting ready. Shalom.